Régis, I think an obvious starting place, the transfer window and comings and goings. Cummings, how confident or optimistic are you about the possibility of one or two arriving by 11 o'clock on Monday night?
11 o'clock? It's still unpredictable because this market, more than the summer market, is difficult with many clubs who are looking for the same targets. And some of them are available. 24 hours later, they are not available, and it's like that until the end. So we'll see. We are working hard behind the scenes, and I hope we'll succeed at the end.
I mean, how frustrating is that? Because obviously, every day, clubs being linked with new names, and I guess that is just part of the cycle of the window.
It's a process for me. I'm not worried about that. Names. Speculation, remorse, and so on. So at the end, we are working hard. I think we don't need many players, so it's a good news for that because we know that we have a good team, and if we can reinforce some position, it's positive for us. It's positive for the team. It's positive for the depth of the squad. It's positive for the competition as well because it helps to grow as a player and as a team. At the end, we'll see, because we are not in a bad place at all, and if we can reinforce, I repeat, it's good for us, but it's not. We'll manage the situation as we can.
And what about outgoings then? There's been some talk about Tommy Watson, renewed interest from Brighton, Adil Al-Shish and Portsmouth, although that seems to have, there may have been a problem, or maybe a problem at the Portsmouth end for that to go through.
Yeah. We'll see. We have good players, so it means that it can provoke interest, and sure, it's good news for us. And at the end, we'll decide because they have contracts, and it's always a question of negotiation between the players, the clubs, and the purpose of Sunderland as well at the minute, because we want to have the best team as possible, and then we'll decide.
And you've consistently said as well, it's got to be right for both the club and the player, from both perspectives. It's, that if Al-Shish, for instance, is not going to get game time or much game time between now and the end of the season, it's probably in his best interest to move.
Yeah, probably. With Adil, we worked together for a long time, so we know each other very, very well, and it's clear that his behavior was absolutely perfect during this season. He didn't play a lot, and he had an opportunity the last couple of weeks, and he did well, to be fair. Even it wasn't his best position, but he worked hard, and he deserved to play these games, and he helped the team. And now, for the last couple of months we have ahead, I think it could be better for him to play and to be involved in the starting 11. And for him, for us, if it fits with the situation, it should be a good solution for him. Yeah.
And you will have in the next few weeks, I assume, players coming back. Mundell, Tommy Watson I mentioned, Alan Brown. I mean, how far away are those three from returning?
Romain should return to train next week, so it's good news. Brownie started this week. It's a non-contact at the minute, but will be okay next week. And we'll have to wait maybe 10 days more for Tommy, but he's okay.
So actually, in a few weeks' time, you're going to have a hopefully, if there's no more injuries, quite a full squad. It's going to be quite a job picking team.
We don't need more players to avoid these problems. Yes, I'm happy, but you know that if we could have the full team, it's good news, but it's not often the case in a full season. So if for the last 3 months we could have the full squad, it's good, but we'll see, because it doesn't work like that.
Have you reflected, and you will have reflected on the Plymouth game last weekend? I mean, have you reassessed perhaps the events of the afternoon or the direction that you took in the team that you took?
Yeah, we did a full review this morning, 30 minutes with the players. So plenty of room for improvement everywhere. And yeah, it was another tough game because new scenario, new opponent, a massive possession during the first half, especially with a low block to manage. So not an usual situation for us so far. It happened maybe once or twice, but not often. And to be fair, we created chances during this first period. At the end of the first period, the last 15 minutes, and maybe we were a little bit frustrated during the halftime. We have to do more. We have to create more. But at the same time, if you create more unbalance and we don't score, and at the same time, I think the opponent is more confident with his game plan, and they can feel that maybe they will have 1, 2 or 3 opportunities because the game is long and we can make mistakes, and we did, obviously, because we can't make a perfect game, and they used these opportunities to create chances. It's still the same idea. We have a young team. They have to face with different challenges. Some of them are maybe easier for our style of play, for our squad, and the way we are playing. And others, we have to improve many elements in our game. So it's still a process, and keep going about this.
I guess it's a stark reminder that you have to be on top of your game in this division. I mean, you've said every time about the opposition, it's a tough league, and every team, I mean, as Plymouth proved, can be, quite obstinate.
Yeah, we watched 2 or 3 clips about their chances this morning, and they played this situation very well. It was impressive. A wonderful cross, a wonderful counter-attack in behind with the save of Pata on the post. It was really well played. So they can struggle on the table, it's really clear, but on the pitch they can make good movements and create chances.
Middlesbrough, a difficult one perhaps to assess because, like they've got players coming and going. Latela looks like he will be gone by Monday night. Not sure if a replacement will be at Boro in time, so it's difficult to know quite how they will approach the game.
Yes, about the players available maybe, but about the style of play I think it's clear because the identity is strong, very positive with the ball, dominant. So it will be a tough challenge. Probably it's easier to understand what they want to do, and they can manage different options like an overload on one side on the other side, so it's possible. But their identity is very strong and very stable, and we know their strength. So maybe it's a little bit easier to prepare, but to execute is difficult because they are doing very well on the pitch. And it will be an exciting challenge for us because we like this feature, and I hope we'll be at the level we were so far. But it's a new challenge, and we always have to reset.
And talking of challenges, you touched on it last week. The window's still open on Monday night when you're at Middlesbrough. Will you be in contact with Christian and Stuart and the others during the game, or is that something you just have to put to one side and concentrate fully on what's happening on the pitch?
Only the pitch. Only the pitch, yes. Probably the last couple of hours it's too late. Yes, we can be open with the late opportunities, but for me we have to make our deals before. Yeah, sure.
Hi Régis, you talked about you've reviewed elements of the game today against Plymouth. Is game management and those last stages of the game, which have been a bit of an Achilles heel where you've dropped points this season, have you looked at that specifically this week?
Not really this morning, but we'll have this conversation with the players a little bit later. It's a question of this last 10 minutes. I think we conceded around 35% of our goals, so it's massive. It means that we didn't concede many goals before, but positive as well. But this part of the game is still a problem for us, and if we can improve this part, it should be Good news for us. Good news for us. And maybe we have many options because we don't feel that they are scary by this period because when we talk about the player, it's not the case. But maybe the opponent, because we didn't score before, or the score is not massive in our favor, it's still possible to come back in the game. So they can change their dynamic. And probably they used many long balls to play direct with 3 target men, and it was a different style of play. And this morning it was clear that we struggled to manage that situation. So tactically we can move with a back 5, for example, with 3 centre backs. But at the same time, when you play like that, maybe you can influence the mindset of the team. We will play defensively, and it's not really for me. It's not the best option. But at the same time, if the opponent change their way of playing, it could be a good idea. So we did it sometimes. For that fixture, it wasn't positive at the end. And after that, it's a question of decision making. Do we want to keep the ball or not? Do we want to control the game or not at that minute? So we have to maintain like a big bravery with the ball, and maybe it could be improved. And the last option could be like in Italy, you can cut the game. Last 20 minutes. You can leave the stadium because the game is finished. Okay, it's possible with experience. But so far, I don't think it's really our identity. So it's a question of small details and adjustment and maybe responsibility on the pitch. And so we'll learn and we'll find, I hope, a solution to solve that problem.
It's a question of whether to be pragmatic or not. You know, do you change your identity to park the bus, or do you try and get another goal to get ahead? Does that decision, are you making that on the touchline and passing that message to the players?
Yeah, we tried different options so far. Sometimes it was a success, sometimes it wasn't. So at the minute, I don't think we have a specific rule. If we use that, it will work. It's not so simple, I think, and it depends on the players available on the bench as well. So the player tired on the pitch or not. So it's a question of dynamic on feeling on the pitch. But if we think that we can change something, we are learning from these experiences. I think we'll have more success soon. Sure.
Do you think, come the latter stages of the season, Middlesbrough will be up there with you, pushing for those either playoffs or, well, top 2 might be a bit far from Middlesbrough certainly at the moment, but do you think they'll be up there with you come the end of the season?
Yes, I think because they are a good team with, a strong identity. I respect that, and many good players. So we can see that in that league, even if you are a good identity, strong identity, and good players, you can struggle with this purpose to be in the top 2, top 3 for the final round of the championship. But at the same time, we have still 17 games to play, so it's a long way. Many elements can happen.
And just finally, Nick asked you if you'll just be concentrating on the game, not the transfer window on Monday evening. But will you be up early with your phone next to you on Monday morning? Are you expecting business to be doing business on Monday?
Yes, until the end, until the last seconds. It's always like that. But now, after many experiences, not long experiences, but many windows and transfer windows here at Lorient before, I know that probably we are in a very good place. So I'm not really worried because the team is good, like that. And if we can improve a little bit, it's good. I repeat, but I trust the group, I trust the players we have, and I think it's the best position I've ever had so far.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You saw earlier in the season, Régis, it's kind of a local derby against Middlesbrough. You saw what the atmosphere was like at the stadium. Like it'll be similar down there. It might feel quite hostile. So when you're sort of away from home in that sort of a game, do you like that environment?
Yes, like it, and the players as well. So it's not really hostile. It's just a big feature, a good game to play, and the players like that really, and me too. Yeah.
I'm going to say, I mean, the players have proved sort of every time they've gone away to one of the bigger clubs in the division, which are also big and high pressure games, they've never let you down, have they?
Yeah, they were good so far, and but it's a new challenge, so we can be confident because we did well before, but at the same time we have to reset because it's a new game. But and now we are probably more experienced. We have more answers for different problems, I think, and we can solve problems in real time. And I think we should react quicker than for the first game at home. For example, we had some problems out of possession, especially, and I think now we have more solutions. But probably our opponent will have other problems to propose as well. So we'll see. Yeah.
Just a point I wanted to ask about Enzo. Obviously, he's kind of learning about you, the team is learning about him, and everyone's learning about each other. How far along do you think you are with that process about where to put him in the team and what he can do for the team?
Step by step, and this week was useful, I think, for him, and the 3 games he played with us. He played on the left side, so he can help here, and I think this left triangle is getting better game after game, and we worked on it this morning again. And after that, I think his best position is more a central position, 8 or 10, because he can influence in the core of the team more triangles. He's really a link player and vertical player. So I think his best position should be this one, but we'll see. And now, as we said just before, we would like to have our full team, but sometimes it's not possible. So we have to use these versatile players. They are very important for a team, and he's doing well in that position.